A very good evening and a warm welcome to UBC News Tonight on this fine day. I'm Loreen Masika Kazimoto and my colleague Muhammad Mugalu on sign language interpretation. Now, before we get into tonight's news bulletin, let's first take a look at the top stories tonight. In our top stories, General Mbadi and Honorable Godfrey Kabyanga expressed gratitude towards Museveni for their appointment as ministers. Government and Samco sign contract for the construction of Akibua Olympic Stadium. Minister Nyamutoro commits to streamlining the mineral sector. And stakeholders call for e-mobility infrastructural development to combat air pollution in Uganda. Good evening once again. Now, in our stories this evening, President Yoweri Museveni has officiated at the Thanksgiving rally of General Wilson Mbasu Mbadi, the State Minister for Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, and ICT and National Guidance State Minister, Honorable Godfrey Kabyanga. The rally, which also featured Dr. Chris Badiomunsi, the Minister for ICT and National Guidance, took place at Kaguta Grounds in Nyakatonzi Sub-County, Kasese District.
President Kaguta Museveni has been a one-day visitor to Kasese District this Saturday. Museveni, who has been in Rwenzori area on the invitation of the two ministers, General Wilson Mbasu Mbadi and Godfrey Kabyanga Baluku, began by commissioning a 38.2-kilometer Kikorongo-Bwera-Mpondwe road. Thereafter, he then proceeded to Kaguta Grounds in Nyakatonzi, Kasese District, for the joint Thanksgiving ceremony of the two ministers, State for Trade General Wilson Mbasu Mbadi and State for ICT and National Guidance Godfrey Kabyanga Baluku. For the day was owned by the two host ministers, General Wilson Mbasu Mbadi and Godfrey Kabyanga.
Your Excellency, you rang me at 5 a.m. and told me, my son, where are you? I told you I was in Moroto. And you told me, today I will appoint you minister. I thought it was Angel Gabriel. I looked at the phone, I saw the wrong number. But I didn't believe the message. You know, for us Africans, we believe after touching. Your Excellency, I waited till 2 p.m. and I was just on TV and I heard you say, I forgot my man. And now my man, I am appointing him a minister. If a president can call you his man, you will die for him. I am going to die for you, Your Excellency. I will look for you votes, and you will see how the basket will go full.
We are here for thanksgiving. We want to thank God for what He has been to us in our lives. And of course, we want to thank Him for using you to identify us and find trust that we can be part of your cabinet and support you in your endeavors to cause socio-economic transformation in our societies.
The Thanksgiving ceremony was graced by, among others, religious and cultural leaders, members of cabinet, MPs, and members of the general public.
Overall, for every 100 votes, President Museveni in Kasese got 48.
When we came here in 2021, looking for votes, we had a rally in Kasese. The people of Kasese promised us to vote NRM, and indeed they voted NRM, and they improved even the number of the members of parliament and gave us 3 members of parliament who are yellow, who are NRM, and who are representing the people very well.
The President's address zeroed on rallying Rwenzori sub-region to prioritize conservation as a critical strategy for sustainable development in Uganda.
Abantu abakugiza kuzo mpaka.
Abantu abakalingiseri omapamba.
Park.
Omapaka. Abakalingiseri omapaka.
Abo nibatusisira.
Abo bakatutandira ya.
Museveni also discouraged encroaching on the fragile ecosystems like the Mount Elgons and others, urging communities to heed the government's advice on environmental preservation.
Nabwekyo ito tukabateekateeka tubagira tuti omuto gwa Rwenzori harushozi n'ekibira mukireke mureke kuzayo mu kibira.
He stressed that forests and mountains are not meant for habitation, attributing the recent cases of landslides in the country to lack of adherence to government's advice.
Muhurro kuhabura kwa NRM.
Twolekerere erahabula eri NRM.
Kandi NRM ibyo kubahora byona neba eheriza kubijegena.
To the celebrants, the President hailed them for their dedicated service towards the development of Uganda and the region. Museveni further reiterates his commitment and that of his government in fostering peace and stability not only in Uganda but beyond its borders.
Nabwekyo ito NRM tukabahabura ngumurebe ngumwa kuma businge.
I'm Robert Onyango and Ivan Kahwa for UBC News.
NRM chi.
Prime Minister Robina Nabanja has criticized parents, teachers and leaders in Chikube district for the high school dropout rates despite government's effort to build schools and pay teachers' salaries. Nabanja made these remarks during the celebrations marking the 5th anniversary of Chikube district establishment.
Chikube district in Ibunyoro sub-region was carved out of Hoima district. The district is one of the oil-rich districts and is hosting Kabarega International Airport as well as other strategic infrastructure of the country.
Kandi, we have the Kingfisher oil well in Buhuka, which is being well managed by Sinok and a significant contributor to the oil and gas industry. As you are aware, our proximity to the industrial park in Kigaga, Kabarega International Airport at Kabale and the pump station 1 makes Chikube a business and employment hub for now and the future.
During the celebration to mark 5 years of Chikube district, Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, was the chief guest and she commissioned a new district administration block.
Nkwenda mwikirize mbaichewo kuramukia kuruga mukama waitu President Museveni abagonza muno kandi akimanyire nti ndi hano.
Chikube has also for decades been hosting one of the largest refugee settlements in the country.
The project investments have led to increase the harmony between the refugees and the host communities and expanded asylum space in the district.
The administration block was constructed with funds from the Office of the Prime Minister under Dr. D project.
The total investment is 2.388 billion. Ezo mutagamba za Nabanja, mutagamba za ofisi ya Prime Minister za Museveni. So musime Museveni na amani.
However, the Premier said the project has since spent 20 billion shillings on various projects of the district.
In Chikube district for the last 5 years. This consisted of 16 schools. Amasomero 16 tukagombeka, enguudo 5 n'entindo, amarwaro 6 na 1 district medical stores. I want to thank the President.
She also blamed the parents, teachers and leaders in the district of Chikube for the high school dropout, and yet government has constructed schools as well as paying salaries for the teachers.
Oli DEO otakuswara kati mukukora kiba DO inspector of schools akora abana banu mumanyire bagiire mwana tandikira P1 kikube bana 10 kwiko P7 18 kwiko omusiniya batano ati tulirugayo dimunyorana nabo mukwenda Museveni era nabwe aija atandike kusindikiriza abazaire ekyo mulimo gwe mukwenda prime minister aija atandike kutambula njuhanju chairman ero C1 oyino obujulanizibwa owabakyara oyino obujulanizibwa owabasigazi abakurugamu basigazi bawe oyino obujulanizibwa chairman ero C2 chairman ero C3 bakasara bamiruka bakasara ba district ogwo mulimo gubere gwanyu nkubasaba abazaire nywena buli mtu ayina omwana ogende muka orolengo omwana wawe agarukira mu somero.
As the first female Prime Minister of Uganda, Nabanya said she is committed to fight for the common person.
Bulambuli abantu bakatufawo bainange naye nkagamba esente za president nyina kuyika bulambuli olusozi luli kulinka lutemba na banja nkaika naremererwa nagamba boderi nkananywa aya mpaka naikayo bwenda abani nsobora genda omusozi bulambuli ekikulemesa kansala wa district owagombora kugenda okalambula amasomero gawe kiki kandi mwesige Museveni President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni akugaruka 2026 abamuwagira emikono guru.
She urged the leaders of Chikube to ensure that the new facility is used for availing jobs to the young people of the district.
As this facility opens its doors, we are not just creating office space, like I already told you. We are creating a space for opportunities where our younger people can access support, find resources, and engage in the development of their district.
The government has signed a contract with the Egyptian firm Samco National Construction Company to build the Akibua Olympic Stadium in Lira City. The 20,000-seat stadium is projected to cost $129 million and will be completed in 20 months.
The ceremony was held at the State House, Nakasero, on Friday, December 6, 2024, and was hosted by the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Janet Museveni. Mohamed Bale, the accounting officer of the National Council of Sports, signed the contract on behalf of the Government of Uganda and National Council of Sports. During the ceremony, Janet Museveni handed over 18.455-hectare land title for the stadium's construction to Ambrose Tashobia, the chairman of the National Council of Sports. The Minister of State for Sports, Honorable Peter Ogwang, acknowledged that while President Museveni's 2010 pledge to build the stadium for the people of Lango took time to materialize, it is now a major achievement for the NRM government.
My fellow people of Atekere people, the shame, some of you never believed in us. Now here we are, we're beginning to speak with authority that the stadium is a reality. Now it's time. We must.
He expressed gratitude to the local leadership in Lira City and district for their support and urged the constructors to begin work promptly, adhering to the project timeline. Honorable Ogwang also called for the First Lady, Janet Museveni, and President Museveni to formally commission the construction works.
Contractor and the amount which is going to be used for constructing the stadium is $129 million for constructing that stadium. And the works are going to be done within 20 months. So, from today, to our contractor, your time has come. As far as we are concerned, aware that our timelines are clearly there, we will need you to get on site as early as possible so that we work in terms of achieving our timeline.
The Akibua Olympic Stadium complex will feature a 20,000-seat main stadium with state-of-the-art facilities, as outlined by Honorable Peter Ogwang.
It's going to be the state-of-the-art facility within the city of Lira, which also have athletic track outside. It will have a 2,000 mini sports indoor arena, which is constructed outside the stadium. It will have 25-meter semi-Olympic swimming pool, which is going to be constructed within the stadium complex. It will have outdoor stadium basketball, netball, for purposes of our children who will be training in that area.
The facility has a fully furnished clubhouse for stadium operations, a 60-room hotel, 5 sports pitches, and a borehole to reduce maintenance costs. The Akiboa Olympic Stadium, located in Lira City, will also be one of the venues when Uganda co-hosts the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations. Mashamiro Victor, UBC News.
There is only one rule you must follow in order to be a winner. Number 1, defeat the undefeatable. You, step forward. I want you to box the air until it falls down. I'm not seeing it falling in. You see it falling in. Box, harder. Winning is hard, but with MTN Momo, it's easy. Simply pay or shop with Momo for a chance to win mobile money every day. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Uncle Mo,
Asivi koja tukwasa.
Vayo na wasajja batusonyiye.
Chikakasi.
Vayo.
Government has done it. Uganda Revenue Authority has taken you off the burden of paying interests and penalties. All you have to do is to pay your outstanding principal tax to benefit from the waiver of interests and penalties that runs till the end of December 2024. Call us on our toll-free line or email services@ura.go.ug.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Amazina ganje ninyetekwa Seruhanga John Bosco ninduga mu district ya Rukungiri nyo muhanguzi wa miliyoni 18 na Uganda National Rotary nzahangwire urwo mu kuzana *278# ngafuna message eriko mu muhanguzi nashemererwa konka nabaza kugira ngo neri yabafere sente ziriyo zona bakaziteka ko nazihangwira.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Umeme informs its customers that the Yaka vending system will not be available from Sunday 8th December 2024 to 6 a.m. on Monday 9th December 2024 due to a planned system upgrade. You are advised to purchase sufficient Yaka units to cover your electricity supply during the system downtime. For any inquiries, contact us on our toll-free numbers 0800-285-285 or 0800-385-385 and on WhatsApp 0772-285-285 or by email to callcenter@umeme.co.ug. Umeme regrets any inconveniences caused. Umeme, powering Uganda.
Welcome back from that break, and now into the business scene. The National Agricultural Research Organization, NARO, is deepening ties with China to improve rice production. This collaboration, which includes the establishment of an Africa Regional Perennial Rice Technology Center in Uganda, aims to enhance food security and revolutionize rice production.
And to be very more specific, perenniality in rice. And why? It is because it is one kind of technology that will help the farmer to harvest from the same crop over a period of at least 5 years. The same plant planted at time zero, the farmer is able to save money for all the planting that would happen in the subsequent 5 years. The farmer is able to save the seed that he would otherwise use over a period of 5 years. The farmer is able to save money over the various multiple transplantings that he would be able to encounter in a period of 5 years. And above all, also a farmer is able to maintain the texture of the soil without disturbing it, which also means that this kind of perennial rice happens to stabilize the soil structure. And in that case, it is so much in sync with the technologies that are helping to mitigate effects of climate change.
In future, there are two paths maybe. The first one is the breeding. We can have more collaboration on perennial rice breeding.
We in Uganda, we are coming in this partnership with what I would call the accessions of the wild type. Present a treasure for the world.
Now, power remains a significant challenge for local manufacturers, according to Uganda Manufacturers Association Board Chairperson Deo Kayemba. At the association's annual general meeting, Kayemba emphasized UMA's efforts to support struggling companies. We have more details in this report.
Is stepping in. I think we can have some more seats maybe.
During the same year, we have dealt with the issues like the cost of power. We have consistently pushed for the 5 cents per kilowatt hour. It has not come through, but we appreciate that the government has made some strides towards the goal. We are hoping that come 2025, when Umeme exit, government will have a free hand to give the 5 cents per kilowatt hour. And our promise to government that we shall be able to increase capacity to uptake the power. Currently, we are not, because of the power cost, a major part of our cost, we are not able to scale up capacity. In the East African region, we have continued to engage Kenya on the NTBs, primarily on our agro-produce or agro-processed things, and we are seeing a headline. On the national scale, we have, for the entire 2024, we have tried to align the government program, the PDM model, to manufacturing, because when the PDM produces, it is the manufacturer to uptake and add value to the products before they can access the market. So we are working with the government to see that we align ourselves.
And now onto sports. Uganda's national netball team, the She Cranes, has completed their 3rd day in Namibia ahead of the African Netball Cup, which starts on Monday.
These are this year's African Netball Cup that gets underway on Monday with a date against Eswatini in the morning.
The She Cranes will return later in the day to face Zimbabwe. The team will have a rest day on Tuesday and return on Wednesday to play Namibia before completing Group B games against Lesotho on Thursday. The technical team has 13 of the 14 summoned players, with Sandra Nambirige, who remained behind to complete exams at Ndeje University, expected today.
The She Cranes, we are all good, and the training that we had in Uganda and also the training that we are having here, what I can say about it is that we are well prepared to be the champions of Africa Cup.
Are well prepared because we prepared enough way back from Uganda, and right here we've been training yesterday and today, so I think we're okay and we are ready to go.
The She Cranes have now had 3 full days in the Swakopmund municipality of Namibia.
Okay, the reason as to why we came early is we wanted to acclimatize with the climate of the area, and now we are getting used, given the fact that this area is a desert, it's very hot, but at least we are now coping up with the climatic conditions here. The girls are in good shape.
The African Netball Cup will be played at the MTC Dome, which according to Uganda's government official Cecilia Anyakoyit will be world class when all settings are finished.
Namibia is quite a unique country in terms of preparedness in facilities. This is not so far the top best in Africa because South Africa leads us in all facilities. But I think because of their closeness to South Africa, they have basic facilities that most African countries don't have. So the dome here is getting ready. The facility is getting really ready for the preparations for the competitions, and the indoor is well aerated, and I think it will be a good environment for competition.
The other teams in the women's category are defending champions Zambia, South Africa, Kenya and Malawi that make Group A.
To be a winner, you must have the discipline of a tiger. But when fueled with MTN Momo, winning is easy. Simply get your phone and use the Momo app or dial *165*3#, enter merchant code, enter amount, enter your Momo PIN, and pay. Congratulations! Your car is happy, and now you stand a chance to win mobile money with MTN Momo.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels, and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukoto Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
Welcome back from that break, and now into sports. On March Day 5 of the 2024-25 Betway Futsal Super League, Kaboa Dream team suffered their first loss, while Park FC bounced back to winning ways. Marsha Miro with the details.
Kaboa Dream Team's unbeaten streak came to an end as they failed to crown Lubiri in a thrilling top-of-the-table clash. The Somalis staged a remarkable comeback, securing a 2-1 victory and leapfrogging their opponents in the process. This result sees Crown move on top of the standings, remaining the only unbeaten side in the league this season. Meanwhile, defending champions Park FC bounced back with a 5-2 win over Edgar's youth program in the last match of the day. After their invincibility streak was broken by Lubaga Gramen last weekend, Park FC was guided to victory by Abasi Jr., who scored a hat-trick, complemented by goals by Joshua Aziku and Hassan Tagulira. Park FC now have 12 points from their 5 games, while Edgars remain bottom of the table with 0 points. Meanwhile, Mango City secured their 3rd consecutive win, defeating Kabusu Clouds 6-2. Their head coach is confident they are title contenders.
Here in the game, the pressure is too much actually, but we manage. And the players, all the effort we have been doing the last week, the training actually we have actually showed us, and the team performed very well. And we have been playing again. It's a very good opponent actually. Obviously, Mango is a bigger club. It has to be a title contender, and we're here to challenge actually with other teams. And we are title contenders. That's what Mango means actually.
In other results on Friday night, Nansana Aska, Chisenyi FC, and Lubaga Gramen were all victorious. Nansana humbled Busugu Sparks 6-2, Chisenyi overcame Chisugo 3-2 to return to winning ways, and Gramen, led by Andrew Kayanja's brace, claimed their 2nd consecutive win with a 3-2 victory over struggling QC Mbarara. Marshamiro Victor, UBC News.
And with that, UBC News Tonight comes to an end. Do enjoy much more of UBC Television's programming. I'm Loreen Masika Kazimoto and my colleague Mohammed Mugalu in Sign Language.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
inengaharengeheya parish development model PDM yasimamisibwawo mu mwiko kw'ebikano 2012 ni President Museveni husolanisa mu butambi ni hulosera hutapusa bibindu bikali mu miruha yayengisibwamo kamapesa silingi trillion sikano sitwera kama 55 kakaabirisibwa mu matulisako kumukanda mutwera ni bitondo birano katapusibwa ku bandu babola ifuma ndwera kimikanda kitaru bikano bibiri sitondo sitwera kama 55 papataru mwinambo. Government ya Uganda khusima khule khwakanira PDM ni hukiyetsa khura khusye khurambira inda yonyene babandu balombe baho khuyambira moneka harenga bubaho botabusbaho ni ba Government Citizen Interaction Center State House.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Welcome to the month of December. This is the Business Roundup, your go-to show for the top business stories within the land and across the region. I am your host, Joram Paul Sonko. First, a look at the top stories. Businesses, thought leaders and innovators gathered to explore opportunities for collaboration, growth and innovation in the e-commerce sector. The Uganda Registration Services Bureau hosted a stakeholders meeting bringing together creatives and users of creative works. In our feature story, we focus on the 600 megawatts Karuma hydroelectric power station. With this and more, sit back and let's get right onto it. In our first report, a clarification has been made on a story that ran on UBC News on the 24th of November concerning the hacking of the central bank. Pegasus Technologies was wrongfully mentioned in that interview, and we spoke to Ronald Azeire, the company's founder, who expounded on the need to take extra caution when transacting or managing digital financial services and processes.
This clarity came in when Pegasus technology raised concern of being misrepresented in an interview last week relating to the recent Bank of Uganda financial hack.
I apologize what had happened before. In the previous interview, it was misled attacking Pegasus, which was not the case. Pegasus was not attacked, was not hacked. I was just giving an example, saying the small embedded systems, giving an example of SIM cards, like could be used. I was just giving an example. So Pegasus as itself, it was not hacked recently. It has nothing to deal with BOU.
In this regard, Dr. Ahamia adds that cybercrime is a global phenomenon that has posed a new challenge to the financial sector.
From a global perspective, if you're to see the statistics, globally we lose $10.5 trillion globally. That's criminal. If we go to Africa, Africa will lose around 3.5 billion. Then if you narrow it to Uganda, we are in 2-point-something billion Ugandan shillings. And this majorly comes from a perspective of embedded systems. As I had said earlier, the small interconnected things that are connected to internet.
Dr. Ronald Azaire, Managing Director of Pegasus Technologies, says that fraud in the financial sector has been evolving in equal measures as the sector's innovations.
The new thief will no longer invest in strong armed things like guns and waylaying people and so on. The new thief now requires is what they call a cyber fraudster. One that looks at ways of intercepting that money either in transit or where the value of that money is held. And that is the concept of hacking into systems. So they will either hack into systems where value is held, or they will intercept that electronic money as it moves from one destination to another. You're paying someone, someone intercepts that request and diverts that request to someone else. That is a form of transferring the value from where it was supposed to go to another place. So the new thief is no longer the strong armed man with a gun and so on. The new thief is a clever man with his laptop or something, being able to tap into the cyber waves. And here I use that word carefully because I don't want to confuse cybersecurity with fraud. There are many other ways cyber fraud happens. You've heard that China is hacking the US, or the US is hacking China, or all of that is cyber fraud, or ransomware and so on. The new fraudster now is one who uses cyber to change or to tap into value of money and appropriate that money to himself from another source.
He, however, says that players in the financial sector are developing robust measures to mitigate these risks.
So the protection now is in what ways can that value be protected, whether when you're holding it or when you're transmitting it. And there are a number of ways we do that. Number one, if it's value held in servers, there are what we call perimeter defenses. You have sufficient firewalls, you have passwords, you have two-factor authentication and so on and so on. Anyone that gets in there should have the requisite access. And that access should be non-repudiatable. I shouldn't be able to get into a system and claim it wasn't me. So there will be passwords, I should have a password, there should be two-factor authentication that either sends a request to my mobile phone that should help me complete the access and so on and so forth. So that's one part. The other part is, of course, education of the holders of this value. You must educate people. The calls that you've been seeing of people saying, please enter your PIN, we are doing this promotion, we need to educate people that that is the way the new fraudster now works. He will target your ignorance and make you send money to a place you don't intend to send it. So the new strong room is no longer the strong room of steel and bars and safes. The new strong room now is a strong room of passwords, of firewalls, of perimeter defenses, of endpoint detection and response systems. If I come to your system, can the system detect that that's not the owner of that system and shut me out? So that's the new protection that we're talking about.
Both Dr. Nahamia and Azaire say that whereas large sums of money have been lost to cyber fraud, digital financial services remain the safest and most efficient means of storing and transacting money in modern times.
As transactions of money become more and more digital in the world today, stakeholders are encouraging every user of digital financial services to take extra caution in ensuring that they protect the privacy of their PINs and other financial details. Reporting for UBC News, Wadulo Mark Arnold in Kampala.
The e-commerce day at Katikati restaurant in Kampala brought together businesses, thought leaders and innovators to explore opportunities for collaboration, growth and innovation in the e-commerce sector. It comes at a time when e-commerce platforms in Uganda are growing exponentially due to internet penetration and the rapid increase of smartphones. We have a report.
The impact is not really visible. How can we as your customer benefit more?
All roads led to Katikati restaurant this Friday to mark the e-commerce day hosted by Glovo in partnership with key industry players. The event was aimed at driving digital transformation in the region. Glovo, a multi-category delivery platform, showcased its commitment to fostering partnerships that empower businesses to succeed in the digital economy.
Everybody who has come here will, number one, know how to plan. So we believe that everyone who has come here will know how to plan for their next year, how much they have to invest, okay, to see how they grow from a small business to a bigger business. Our plan here for us today is to ensure that they leave being equipped with everything that they need to start their businesses.
The day featured engaging panel discussions, interactive workshops and networking sessions designed to revolutionize the delivery of goods and services through digital platforms.
We are bringing all our partners, so people who do food delivery, so restaurants. We also have our grocery partners, the likes of Carrefour Frame, and we also have our brands. Our brands include Diageo, who are here, or even banks like DFCU, who's also here, and we are bringing them to explain to them about what Glovo is and why they should actually continue investing in Glovo, and also to teach them on how to grow on Glovo, because one of the biggest things is every business wants to grow, and we're about to close the year, so this is the best time for us to actually talk to them and tell them about how they can grow their business in 2025.
Key highlights included Glovo's innovative approaches to tackling challenges in last-mile delivery, enhancing customer satisfaction, and integrating small and medium-sized enterprises into the e-commerce ecosystem.
There's the gap between understanding how the platform works, how the device works. So there's a lot of different matrices or information that we use to track and understand how a store operates on the platform. One of them, as I spoke about, was the uptime, which is the amount of time that a store is open on the application. The longer that a store is open on the application, the more likely they are to attract more customers, especially because we have people who will eat at different times of the day.
The e-commerce boom continues to transform how people shop and conduct business worldwide. While the COVID-19 pandemic presented challenges, it also accelerated the shift to online shopping as consumers increasingly turn to e-commerce platforms for convenience and safety.
The Uganda Registration Services Bureau, URSB, recently hosted a stakeholders meeting bringing together creatives and users of creative works such as music, poetry, trademarks and logos. The event aimed to explore solutions for streamlining the copyright process, ensuring that artists, performers and creators are fairly compensated for their intellectual property. The discussions focused on improving systems that protect the rights of creatives and enable them to earn from their work. We have the details.
To note, even the people who just stood up, you are not...
We have called an engagement between the people in the hotel, the hospitality industry, including the hotels, bars, restaurants, cafes, you know, together with the collective management organizations, so that we can have an engagement together with URSB, the regulator, so that we can harmonize the way the hospitality sector is working with the collective management organizations to ensure that the creators of works that get copyright really benefit from their creations or their works.
Copyright belongs to Ugandan civilians, and they deserve to be protected. They deserve to earn what is due to them. So Number one, I want to appreciate government for coming through, because URSB is government, meaning they have taken note of the importance. However, we need further intervention in seeing or ascertaining how we can increase revenues for our members to get at least efficient royalties, because you may be aware that some time back we issued royalties, some of them came out and they were doubtful for our collections. However, if government comes on board, adds us on part of their programs like TREP, and we are able to realize reasonable collections, we can make very big meaning to our clients when they get reasonable royalties out of their products.
URSB, we are here to regulate, to implement the Act, as well as also to regulate these collective management organizations, which do act on behalf of their members in ensuring that the users out there are able to pay for the works of their members.
Most of our users did not have sufficient knowledge about copyright. They did not understand or appreciate the dynamics of doing business with us. Most of them did not even understand the parameters in which we go to them to ask for royalties. So we've been facing challenges with resistant users. Some have actually been very hostile. We've had officials being beaten in the field, and we've not been able to live by our mandate 100%.
I'll be taking you through the very big question.
The Karuma Hydroelectric Power Station is an operational 600 megawatts hydroelectric power station in Uganda. It is the largest power generating installation in the country. The power station is located on the Victoria Nile at the former location of the Karuma Falls. This location is approximately 2.5 kilometers upstream of where the Masindi-Gulu Highway crosses the Nile. We have this and more in our feature story.
The Karuma Hydroelectric Power Station, Africa's largest tunnel hydropower plant, is an operational 600 megawatts hydroelectric power station in Uganda and the largest power generating installation in East Africa. In the heart of a nation's energy strategy, the commissioning of a 600 megawatts power plant marks a pivotal milestone.
That means we are going to add on to the power that we've been having. We will reach 2,000 megawatts. The journey has been long, but it's understandable. The underground dam is not that easy. The defect liability period has been extended and extended.
This modern infrastructure, constructed on the mighty River Nile, Africa's longest river that starts its journey to the Mediterranean Sea in the north of Africa from Jinja City in eastern Uganda, promises not only to light up cities and towns across Uganda and the neighboring countries, but also to transform industries, create jobs, and lead the charge for sustainable development. The economic impact of the 600 megawatts power plant extends far beyond its walls. In regions that once struggled with persistent blackouts and unreliable electricity, the power plant is a beacon of hope and stability.
So we have moved now, but we are going to continue moving. We are not going to relax. Because this little electricity we have here now is going to support the factories. It will be very soon, because now the supply is like 500 megawatts. But very soon it will be overtaken.
This mega power plant, boasting of the largest underground powerhouse in Africa, does more than just supply electricity. It's a model of environmental stewardship. Featuring the latest emissions control technologies, it is designed with environmental protection in mind, considering the surrounding wildlife and local ecosystem. With Uganda's ongoing investments in renewable energy integration, the plant also supports the transition to cleaner sources such as solar and nuclear to reduce reliance on any single energy source.
We are now able to diversify our energy mix. We are going to now start bringing on board other alternative energy sources. We are looking to deploy our geothermal potential of 1,500 megawatts. We will deploy nuclear for purposes of energy security and of course maximize our solar, because we are at the equator, we have an opportunity to boast of enormous solar potential.
Karuma hydropower plant strengthens the national grid, making energy distribution faster, more reliable and efficient. This power plant is the key to unlocking growth and opportunity. As the 600 megawatts power plant begins to hum with energy, the future looks brighter. The plants, the factories, the homes, all powered by the same force that drives progress and change.
If we are to see the standard gauge railway being facilitated with electricity, if we are to see all borders using electricity, all cars manufactured in Uganda or imported using electricity, we need much more power. That's why our energy generation strategy has a figure of 52,481 megawatts by 2040.
This electricity here is much cheaper than the one of Bujagari. The one of Bujagari was carelessly done by some people behind my back.
In the end, it's not just about electricity, says Dr. Ruth Nankabirwa, the Minister of Energy and Mineral Development. It's about the lives it powers, the industry it fuels, and the unlimited opportunities it creates. From urban centers to rural villages, from factories to schools, this new power plant is an investment in the future of a nation. With the commissioning of this 600 megawatts power plant, a new chapter begins, one where energy, innovation and sustainability meet to shape a prosperous tomorrow.
Uganda's public debt, which stood at nearly 25.3 billion US dollars in June 2024, is hindering the country's development plans. However, officials are optimistic that the country's growing oil and gas reserves will help boost the economy and reduce reliance on external borrowing. In this regional story, we have the courtesy of Sigitien.
Uganda is confronted with a major financial dilemma. Interest payments on debts now take up a substantial share of the budget and local revenues. The government claims they are now cautious about taking on more loans.
Uganda we are now in is stable, the economy is stable, the only thing is we must work hard.
Uganda has been borrowing money to fund its ambitious infrastructure programs. These include major roads, railway lines, bridges, international airports, among others.
We've seen increased debt with improved quality of life of Ugandans. Just yesterday, 20 years ago, literacy in Uganda was at a mere 36%, now stands at 77%, of course contributed by a level of borrowing and investing accordingly into education, equipment, science laboratories, and also skills broadly. Millions of children now at school because we have partly used the resources.
In August, the International Credit Rating Agency, Fitch Ratings, lowered Uganda's rating from B+ to B. This resulted in growing uncertainty around Uganda's ability to meet its financing requirements. International creditors have also expressed concerns about democracy, human rights and corruption in the country. Uganda is banking on its oil and gas wealth to light up the economy, but also ease the financial pressure on the state. Economic analysts project that once online, the oil and gas developments could generate up to $1.5 billion annually in revenue for Uganda. Uganda is on course to produce up to 230,000 barrels of oil per day by 2026. Much of the oil will be exported through a pipeline to global markets. The central bank maintains that Uganda, with its oil revenues, is secure and capable of managing, sustaining, and repaying the existing debt going forward.
They also have what we call
domestic resource mobilization strategy. And I think what we have been reading and what the numbers we have been getting from URA, the taxes have been slightly above target, which is a welcome development, meaning that probably the tax revenues are on track. So overall, I don't think we have a challenge with public debt.
But economic watchers warn that mismanagement and corruption could derail Uganda's ambitions. Michael Baleke, CGTN Kampala, Uganda.
We are working hard with our domestic and international partners, particularly through the Financial Intelligence Authority, to pursue the recovery of these funds. And we also expect the ongoing investigations to support our recovery efforts and help us understand the full extent of these fraudulent transactions. But more importantly, we are also cooperating with the Office of the Auditor General, who are conducting their independent investigations. So that is what it relates on the amount of funds that were involved. So forget about all this media speculation on the amount of the funds involved.
Thank you for being part of the show this week. We are glad to always have your company. As we begin the festive season, please be mindful and take caution of your movements. And in the same spirit, always look out for your loved ones. From the business desk and myself, it's a goodbye for now.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Blascon, paint and win. Yes, yeah, Blascon, paint and win. The cuckoo roundy. Chicho, buy paint worth 100K. Get a scratch card. SMS the code to 7197. Stand a chance to win instant airtime, 1 million shillings bully day there, or a share of a 3 million shillings jackpot each week. What do you want the brand new podas, tuk-tuks, and so much more? Catch the paint and win action every Monday on Bukede One, NBS, and Sanyuka TV. Blascon, color your world.
The Ministry of Health informs the general public that there are some cases of Mpox detected in Uganda. The ministry, working with partners and affected district local governments, are doing their best to contain the situation. The signs and symptoms of Mpox are body rash, fever, general body weakness, headache, sore throat, nasal congestion or cough, and swollen lymph nodes. You can prevent yourself from getting infected with Mpox by avoiding close contact with people who have been confirmed to have Mpox or who have signs and symptoms of Mpox. Avoiding touching or sharing personal items like beddings, eating utensils, phones, or other belongings of a person who has the signs and symptoms of Mpox. Avoiding contact, including eating, with all wild animals, alive or dead, especially those known to carry the virus, such as rodents and monkeys, and those that appear sick or have been found dead. Getting vaccinated if you're among those who have been identified to be at high risk of Mpox infection. Mpox is treatable and usually goes away after 2 to 4 weeks. However, it can be severe, causing even death, especially among children, pregnant women, and those with other health conditions. For more information and support, contact your nearest health worker. Call the Ministry of Health's toll-free line on 0800 100 066 or send a free SMS to YouReport on 8500.
amazina ganje ninyetekwa Seruhanga John Bosco ninduga mu district ya Rukungiri ndio muhanguzi wa miliyoni 16 na Uganda National Rotary nzahangwire urwo mu kuzana star 278 hash ngafuna message eriko ndio muhanguzi nashemererwa konka nabaza kugira ngo ne byabafere sente ziriyo zone bakaziteka ngo nazihangwire.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
There is myths that so many of you live by. If your eye is twitching, it means you're going to see someone you like. If it shines and rains at the same time, it means a leopard is giving birth. If your hand is itching, it means you're going to get money. If you see an owl, it means somebody's gonna die. If you hear of a disease outbreak, just know it is in a village district at the border next to some suspicious country. You will want to scratch that last myth because Mpox is in 19 districts and Kampala is among with dozens of cases. Please stop going around checking anyone's hand. Mpox kills. Protect your loved ones.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
My name is Mukeda John Michael, the chairperson LOC1 of Kosim Village, Kaderun Parish, Atot Sub-County in Ngora District. I'm a nephew to your friend, late Ungodia Michelle Douglas Abrek. Here in Kosim, we have 318 households, and the population is 1,800 to 2,000. We are really glad to you, His Excellency, but most of all, I think the parish development model is the best of all these programs, because at least in the parish development model, there are no middlemen between there. This money comes direct to the beneficiary. On my left-hand side is the cow that I bought a month ago out of the parish model money. I got 1 million and I bought this cow at 950 and the money got finished. The only challenge that we have in this village is that we don't have a model farmer in this village where at least people could go and get some knowledge on how to run these programs and to run their farms. The other issue is about the issue of the breeds. You can see the breeds of our animals this way. If there could be a way our animals could be improved by at least getting the way of providing us some good breeds of bulls that could crossbreed with our animals so as to improve on our breeds. Ever since I became a chairperson LOC1, I think I've never seen an extension worker, a veterinary officer, or an agricultural officer moving around trying to find out what challenges have been faced by people in this village. So that's why I find that our people have continued being in poverty, although they are receiving some money from the government. At least people here are growing cassava in large quantities. But due to the market scarcity, say for instance this very year, a kilogram of cassava was only 150 shillings. So most cassava was just used for home consumption. So my request and plea to you, His Excellency, is on the issue of market. At least some people are doing agric, even if it is on small scale. But at least if the prices could be resolved, at least this money would help people on education and medication. People have some oranges, but a bag of orange here in my village is sold between 15 and 20,000 shillings. A very long one, which is of my height, a bag, sold at that price. I hear that the fruit factory now buys all types of oranges, but I've not seen them in my area here buying. So children just eat oranges, and sometimes due to poverty, we sell at 15,000 shillings a bag or 20. When you sell at 25, then you have sold it at the best price. So, His Excellency, the issue of the prices. I'm so glad that now I'm talking to you directly, because we have been hearing and seeing on TV people talking to you, but for us, your people down here, people who are working for you here down, we are not given always a chance to meet you. But I'm so glad that now I can also present my views directly to you.
By names, I am called Kedi Patrick, born of Katakwi A village, Kangado Parish, Butevo Sub-County, Butevo District. As you see me around here with these birds, this is PDM money. In the farm, nali njitandiseko mabega ne koko naye lwakuba nti embeera yagenda ne pisa bubinga capital katono sente nenzingwako naye lwa PDM kyankolera kinene nnyo. Kati obukoko bwe naleeta obukoko mbukuziza bwe nakola wayitawo bbanga lya myezi 2 n'ekitundu ne tubugyamu enkoko 45 ne bansasula zaali kakade kamu n'emitwalo 10,215. 1,125,000, which I was paid after 2.5 months for those birds. After some few days, again they came back. We counted the birds, 75. They paid me cash money, which was a surprise again. I was given 1,875,000. That money, I decided, I said, no, this money, since these PDM birds are doing very well, they have really given me a morale. I decided to hire 4 acres of land in order to plant for them their feeds. I've been selling eggs. Each egg I sell at 800 shillings. In one day, these birds lay 1.5 trays. The mother birds are 63 in number. The cocks here, they are 7, which is 70. This section, leave apart the other section, the young ones. These birds, out of 45 eggs, which I pick a day, if I sell at 800 shillings, I get 36,000. That's in one day. The feeds which these birds eat, they eat only 10 kilograms a day, the 70 birds. Out of the 10 kilos of the feeds, according to my calculation, after buying ingredients like broken maize, there's some concentrates. So I only remain with my profit, net profit is 20,000 a day. That's what I was getting in the months of February, March, and April. When it came to time, I said, no, this money seems it is little, because I was seeing that if every day I was getting 20,000 times 30 days, which is a month, I was getting 600,000 as my money per month. So when I valued 600,000 times 3, that's 1.8 million in 3 months. I said, no, this money, it is a bit little. In a day, I collect 45 eggs. In 1 week, if you multiply 45 eggs by 7, I get roughly 10 trays of eggs. These 10 trays of eggs, which are 300, I pick them and I take to the hatchery in Palisa. On the way with the boda. Eri mu hatchery, obukoko obuto, tubutunda 25,000, 2,500 per chick. So when you get 2,500 times 230 chicks, you get a total amount of 575,000 Uganda currency. When you subtract the money which we are being charged at the hatchery, each egg they charge at 400 shillings. So it means that the 575,000 which have sold the chicks, you subtract 150, you get about 425,000 Uganda currency. That was a very big surprise. In fact, I remain saying, Muzei, wherever okuleta PDM. Now, it means 425. If you multiply by 4, those are 4 weeks, that's 1 month. You get about 1.7 million in a month. Huh? Are you getting me? Now, 1.7. You count the month of May, the whole month of May, June, July, August, September, October. Those are 6 months which I've been selling chicks. 6 months times 1 month, which 1,700,000. That comes to 10,200,000 within 6 months. Out of akastoko kando kamulaba enkoko 7, empanga 7, enkazi 3. Imagine. Enkoko zezikola. Era enterprise yenkoko ndamunyo. Ebirungi benfunye mu farm eno ekisoka. Sobode okupangisa ettaka. Ettaka eryo era nsimbyemu soya, simbyemu kasooli, sobode okufuna sente z'ensigo. Ate ebirungi ebifunyemu ate ku enkoko zennyini sobode okusasula abakozi abakola mu farm eno. Era nsaba abantu batuuze bange, muzwa mu kigambo ky'okukolera kidambya. Tukole kintu kimo, tuzimbe, tukole mwize mumbonera kuyinza ekyenkola. Mwena mwegeraawo. Tulina abasawo extension workers mu sub county batuyamba mu ngeri y'okujanjaba enkoko, engeri y'okulisya. Tukwatagana nabo obanga olemerere oize gye ndi mu farm yange nakuwa abantu abo. Iba baba kairo nkobera nze nijja nimbaleeta.
Amalina gange ninze Loda Benedict bakulubanywa nga nzwera mu zone gye beeta Bukoda, Parish bageta Kasasira Ward, Kasasira Town Council, Kibuku County, Kibuku District. Tandikira ka project ga isuno mukyala wange Nautono Florence kakulisha embizi mu mwaka 1993. Embizi kindwalishanga kinu eja bulijjo local breed. Tugirisire mpola mpola nenge ndishera atini ya mulembe tugirisha isubi, tugirisha ku muwogo na maolu. Program ya PDM ya izire akati yao tabaina ba advisor aba external field extension workers nganio mwamubola yalambulanga aka project gaisa kembizi atwangu magezi nte project enu mujongera magezi omaiseyo mufune kembizi eja mulembe.
Nafunire esente ja Parisimodo mbanka na emtwale 98 nagise nagyongeiro omukapito yange enkaire embizi gide jaloko ningula embizi enzungu nintandika ogirabirira nigibyala omumbizi ejo eja byaire nintunda baana nikoba nti tinakomanu ningulamu esekoko jona ndikulisya esente gindi ninkozesa efizi okubaana era esawa eno ndina embizi jange 6 inkali ntaka kulakulanya project embizi ekule paka nenga musente ja PDM esekoko giri 23 nsubira myaka emisatu ngomukama kwaiteku njaba kusasula akakaira kamune mitwalo 6 imbenga ne project yange kale tambula era ngankubiriza n'abatuuze abange bentwala omuzone ene ya Bukoda nti banange sente ja PDM ngobairo gikwaite kusa era ofunamu era nze sawa eno ingifuniremu era nebali aino baba Museveni yebala okuletawo enkola eno ya PDM eri tusetula okuzwa gitubaire era tuli kutambula nganzo moiza dala ndi gifunamu.
Let me welcome you to Katakwi Intensive Farm, which has 5 enterprises, including fisheries or fish, dairy farming, piggery, bananas for food but also for commercial, and poultry. In this farm, we are demonstrating the fact that when land is utilized together by families without fragmentation, you can produce what comes from the land and then you sell and share the money. But also we are demonstrating that commercial farming using modern methods of agriculture lead to productivity in agriculture and therefore high yields and more money for farmers and families. So you can see that here in our region here, bananas is not a very popular crop. But we are trying to show people to change their minds that it is possible to do what they have not traditionally been doing here in order to fight hunger, but most importantly also to earn money. Now the number of stools in this Matoke enterprise are 1,000 and they are on 1 acre. They are on 1 acre. And we harvest 17 bunches of Matoke from here every day. That translates to 500 bunches every month, and the money that we get from this Matoke after selling each bunch at 15,000 shillings is 7.6 million shillings. And for the whole year, we get 91.9 million shillings. So I want to encourage all the people of Teso also to change the mindset and adopt to new crops which were not traditionally grown here, like bananas, because it can help us to fight hunger, but also earn income. Here we have 10 heifers and 1 bull. The 10 heifers are all in calf now, and each of the heifers produces 10 liters of milk, which we sell at 1,000 each. And when we sell 10 liters of milk at 1,000 each from 10 heifers, that is 100 liters, we get 3 million shillings a month. And when we translate that annually, we get from this dairy unit currently 30 million shillings a month. The focus again is to spread the idea and the vision of the president to all the people to adopt the milk cow. Because with the milk cow, you can have milk for nutrition in families, but also with income by selling milk daily. You might be seeing this now. For now, we are using it as a general store. It has compartments which have items for the treatment of cows, items for the treatment of chicken, the food, and so on and so forth, and other farm implements. But the idea is to translate it into a value addition facility, where we would like to make yogurt here, would like to make ice cream, or even pack milk. When we expand to making mushroom, which is one of our aspirations, we also add value and pack mushroom. We have intentions of expanding to do rabbit, so we can do some of the value addition here in this facility in the near future, including making some banana crisps. Now, in this poultry unit, as you can see, we have 4,000 layers. And every day, we harvest 122 trays of eggs. A tray of eggs here is 10,000 shillings. 122 trays a day times 10,000 shillings is 36 million a month. That's what we currently get. The layers which you see here are just 3 weeks inside the time they started laying their eggs. And therefore, the quantity of eggs is expected to increase as the layers continue growing. In a year, currently, we get 400 million shillings from this poultry farm. And the market for eggs locally is enormous. And that means that there is also market for eggs regionally and internationally. So I would like again to encourage all the people of Teso to adopt modern farming methods like poultry for eggs or poultry also for beef. But when you know that there is Aymar, Echibalo, Otita, or Chura. This poultry farm, on top of the benefits financially, another big benefit for the poultry farm is that there are droppings here. The droppings of the chicken are a big and added advantage to the farm, because every morning we collect these droppings and take them to the banana plantation as fertilizer, and which is organic. And organic foods, as you all know, is very vital for all our health. So the projects here feed each other. And that's why, again, it is very important to have more than one enterprise. Because when you have more than one enterprise, there is a way they can benefit each other. And that lowers the cost. Instead of thinking of buying fertilizers, you just collect the fertilizers from the droppings of the chicken and take them to the banana plantation or the coffee plantation for those who have coffee or any other crop. Piggery unit of this farm has 10 sows or gills, and each gill is expected to produce 10 piglets. A piglet here is 200,000. We expect 100 piglets from all these sows in 6 months' time. And that means that in a year, we expect 200 piglets from these sows. 6 months and another 6 months. When you sell a piglet at 200,000, it means that you multiply 200 piglets times 200,000, which is 40 million Uganda shillings. That's what we get from this piggery project annually. And it is a very simple project because the pigs feed on local materials which we also produce here in the village, on top of the other materials which are bought from the suppliers like the maize bran, sunflower cake. You can supplement them with some specific grass which the pigs feed on naturally, and also the local foods from the households like cassava and also sweet potatoes and sweet potato vines. So I call upon all the people of Teso, those who are not Muslims and those whose culture does not support the keeping of pigs, the rest of those who can manage to keep pigs comfortably, to do this enterprise, because it is simple. You can do it in a small piece of land but earn much money just annually. And the message of the President of Intensive Farming is a message which we are demonstrating here in this farm. We expect to train farmers of different categories within Katakwi and outside Katakwi, across Teso and other regions, who are willing to come and learn. They are welcome here to come and learn. The objective, which is also very important on this piggery project, is to make accessible improved piglets. This quality is large white. Improved piglets to members of the community, so that when they keep them for 6 months, they can sell them. This big one, if they can keep them and sell when they are big, I'm told it goes for 400,000, 500,000, one of them. So when they buy at 200, they can maybe use 50,000 at the level of village to keep. Then by the time they sell, they get a half of what they used to buy as a profit. So like when you buy it at 200 a piglet, then you keep it for 4 months, 5 months, then you sell it at 500,000, 400,000, then that's profit of 250,000. You can see in this fishery project or fish project, we have 3 fish ponds in this farm. And in these 3 fish ponds, we have 1,000 Nile tilapia fish, and we have 10,000 Nile tilapia fish and 10,000 African catfish. As you can see their age, we are soon harvesting money. An average fish of 500 grams and above here locally is 4,000 shillings. And when we sell our 10,000 tilapia at 4,000 shillings, we get in one harvest 20 million shillings. And when we also sell the catfish, which is 10,000, it's also at the age of harvesting soon, we get 20 million shillings at an average price of also 4,000 per catfish. People here know that the catfish can go as far as 10,000, even 15,000. But we are putting our prices at the bare minimum. At the end of the day, when we harvest all the fish from all the 3 fish ponds, the 10,000 catfish and the 10,000 tilapia, we get 40 million shillings. 40 million shillings here in the village can do a lot of things. So I would like to encourage farmers and the population, the community, to adopt to the message of His Excellency the President of having enterprises that you can do in a small piece of land but earn high income. These 3 fish ponds are in a quarter of an acre, but in a year you produce 40 million shillings. It is an enterprise that I encourage everyone to adopt, especially those that live near the swamps, so that as the President's message of making the swamps to rejuvenate goes down to everybody, they do fish farming at the edges so that the swamps rejuvenate their water, and therefore the ecosystem is regained and recovered, and the environment aspects are taken care of vis-a-vis the modern farming method. Now, when you total the amount of money that we get from fish annually, from dairy farming annually, from poultry farming annually, from the bananas or the matoke annually, and from the piggery project, when you combine all of them, as I had told you in installments, what each project earns, when you combine all the money, it comes to 641 million. But we do have expenditure. Expenditure to pay the workers. We have 11 workers here who are permanent workers. But occasionally when there is need, we contract some farmers for a short period of time. So sometimes we have 40 workers here, or even 60, depending on the season and the activity. So from the feeds we buy, from the veterinary services, buying medicine for treating cows, immunization for the chicken, we have a total of 300 million as expenditure. So when you subtract 300 million from 641 million, which is the gross amount that we get annually. The total net profit from this farm currently annually